ARPS movement makers and alum.
I've been staring at the edge of the water long as I can remember, never really knowing why. I wish I could be. How far it goes. If the wind in my sail on the sea stays behind me, one day I'll know. If I go, there's just no telling how far I'll go. I know everybody on this island seems so happy on this island. Everything is by design. I know everybody on this island has a role on this island. So maybe I can roll with mine. I can lead with pride, I can make us strong. I'll be satisfied if I play along. When the voice inside sings a different song. What is wrong with me? See the light as it shines on the sea. It's blinding, but no one knows how deep it goes. And it seems like it's coming out for me. So come find me and let me know what's beyond that line. When I cross that line, see the line where the sky meets the sea. It calls for me, and no one knows how far it goes. If the wind in my sail on the sea stays behind me, one day I'll know how far I'll go.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may be seated. Everyone, please welcome Dr. Shawana Howard Baptiste.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Shawani Howard Baptiste, and I have the pleasure of serving as the Vice Provost for Academic Outreach and Undergraduate Affairs here at the University of Tennessee at Chattanooga. We are excited to welcome you all to the 2025 State of the System for our community partner, Hamilton County Schools. UTC is thrilled to host this year's State of the System as we reflect on an incredible year of growth, achievement, and progress. This past year, we've seen Hamilton County School students thrive, whether through academic milestones, excellence in our schools, or extraordinary stories of success. It's a testament to the hard work of our students, our educators, our families, and our community partners. UTC is proud to support this incredible work and to expand dual enrollment opportunities and welcome our second cohort of University High to UTC's campus. Through University High, we see you all here, local high school students can earn college credit while still in school, providing them with a head start on their post-secondary education. Through immersive college experiences, allowing them to begin their post-graduation identity here on UTC's campus. This dual enrollment initiative is opening doors for our students, for our scholars to attend college or enter the workforce with valuable credentials already in hand, setting them up for success in whichever path they choose. In addition to University High, we're expanding our resources to provide more opportunities to all Hamilton County schools through school-based partnerships, both on campus and online. As we gather here today, we not only celebrate our accomplishments, but we also look ahead with excitement, enthusiasm, and optimism. Our community's aspirations for the future are bright, and we're committed to continuing this journey alongside you with our students, our families, our educators, and those who support Hamilton County Schools. Thank you for being here today to share in this celebration of progress, and together we will continue to create opportunities for success, for innovation and growth, to shape the future for all Hamilton County students so all students can thrive. We thank you, we welcome you to our campus, and now I invite Mayor Wamp to share a few remarks.
Hey, good evening. I'm so honored to be with you, educators and principals, school board members, Commissioner Joe Graham, who's a tireless champion of the public schools in his county commission district. It would be an understatement for me to tell you that our public schools matter, because they are actually a magical window into the future of our community. We are exactly who our public schools were 30 years ago, 20 years ago, 10 years ago, and who we will be 20 years from now, you see in a first grade class who will be 10 years from now, you might see in a high school class. It'd be an understatement for me to tell you that our public schools are important places in our community. On Saturdays at Snow Hill Elementary, there's 3 different basketball courts going on because the community descends there. On Saturdays at Soddy Daisy High School, youth flag football plays on a new turf football field. Our public schools are anchors. They are the essence of community all over Hamilton County. And so we're just so grateful for what you do. Everything that happens in this school system has absolute impact on the future of our county. We are what this school system produces, no better and no worse. But my real role tonight is to introduce the chairman of the Hamilton County School Board. And I'll say this about our friend, Joe Smith. Joe has known and demonstrated in his life that often it's not good enough to just meet a child in the classroom. You got to meet them where they are in their life. And for some kids, that might be a book. But for some kids, it might be a hammer. For some kids, it might be boxing gloves. For some kids, it might be a hug. But that's been the life of Joe Smith. That's been the calling of Joe Smith. And so it's my honor tonight to introduce one of the great forces of good in our county in my lifetime, who happens to be the current chairman of the Hamilton County School Board, Mr. Joe Smith.
Thank you, Mayor. I better check the obituary, make sure my name wasn't in there. Thank you, Mayor, so much. Well, what an honor it is to stand before you and be a part of this, such a celebration. It's just a joy and an honor to serve on our school board. And I've got several, just about everybody. You guys stand up, the whole board down here. I think every one of us are here. Thank y'all. Just a incredible, fun bunch to serve with. Exciting things are going on in Hamilton County schools. And if you're not a part of that excitement, you got to be comatose, is all I can tell you. So many fun things going on, such opportunities for our young people, and so glad to be a part of it. Thank you to UTC for opening up your campus and letting us be here this evening. And I have the great honor and privilege to introduce our leader, who pours into this system, who loves his staff, who loves all our young people, who loves his board most of the time. And we love him, and we're so proud of his work, and we look forward to what he has to share with us tonight. But thank you for being here and being a part of this celebration. So, Dr. Justin Robertson, you come on, buddy. Thank you. Appreciate you.
Want to start by thanking Dr. Howard Batiste for the work that she did to help us get University High started here. Also to UTC for allowing us to come to this facility and share this night with you. To Mayor Womp, he's a great partner in education. I thank him for his tireless dedication to serving this community and making sure that public education is a priority in Hamilton County. And to Chairman Smith and the rest of the board, I think this is the most board members we've ever had in State of the System. I really appreciate you guys being here. I know you don't like me to tell you thank you very often, but I'm telling you thank you for what you do and the way you serve kids. So thank you for being here. I'm going to get in trouble because I see Joe Graham, County Commission. Joe, appreciate you being here. I'm not sure if I missed anyone else. And then someone told me if I don't thank my wife now, I'll forget. So Casey, thank you for being here, for everything you do. So it's time we start telling our story in Hamilton County schools. And that story is one of a district with leaders and teachers that serve each and every kid every day. We grow them. We help them become successful. And it's a story where every kid gets served in Hamilton County. I know there are a lot of different narratives going on right now. There are narratives at the national level, there are narratives at the state level, there are narratives at the local level. It could be around funding. It could be how we serve our immigrant students or how we ensure that our Latino students feel welcomed and a sense of belonging in our schools. It could be about funding. And I know those are narratives that many of you want to hear about tonight. I'm going to disappoint you. We're going to spend a lot more time talking tonight about the accomplishments of this district, celebrating the things that we've done over the past year, showing that when we invest properly in Hamilton County schools, that the outcomes follow. At the center of our story, the main theme of our story is our kids. And when we invest well, our kids thrive. So we're excited to share that with you tonight. We're going to do this in a couple of parts, but the big thing here is celebrating what we've done as a community to serve kids in Hamilton County. I was going to give you a test and see how many of you could quote this. I think by now, most of you could. This is our just cause. And if you've ever heard of a just cause is aspirational, meaning we recognize that we're never going to achieve this. It's also something that allows each person in our community to figure out a way to connect to this and serve kids so that each and every child thrives in Hamilton County. 2 years ago, when we brought this new strategic plan to you, we came with these beliefs. We were hoping over time that we could build this sense of belief in this entire community. You might connect with one of these over another. Right now, getting me distracted over there. Right now, the one that connects with me is that public education is the foundation of our community. These beliefs go with us every day and they lead us right into our values. That last year at this time, we described these values as our habits. That if we do these well over time, just like any good habit, it directs your day-to-day work. It directs the way that you operate with other people. At the foundation of our strategic plan are these commitments. We started with every. I would encourage you to think about each and every with these. Each and every student learns, right? And these are the guiding principles of our district. They allow us to focus and stay intentionally aligned across the district, whether we're talking about a school, whether we're talking about the administration or the school board. We're going to spend some time now highlighting some positive things and some really big accomplishments from the last year as they align to these commitments. I'm going to welcome Dr. Stewart, our Deputy Superintendent, to the stage. Dr. Stewart has been in our district for 5 years, has served across this country. I tell people all the time, she is the most talented educator that I've ever worked with and a really good partner in this work and serves this community with a lot of grit and passion.
Well, good evening, everyone. It was so fun to just sit back there and watch the dancers get started, right? Just fills my heart with joy as we think about celebrating together the accomplishments of our kids. We're going to start here with every student learns, right? We are a public school system. Our responsibility is primarily learning, right? You can see here on the screen that we have had success across our elementary schools, our middle schools, our high schools. But I want to take time tonight for us to dig in a little bit to what's happening in the middle schools in particular. 2.5 years ago, I brought the middle school principals in together, and we got together and we started talking about what we were seeing in our middle schools. And we saw the elementary data was kind of clicking up, and then in middle school it would take a dip, and then high school it would return and start improving again. And we started brainstorming what's going on. I don't know about you, but how many of you would return to middle school? No, right? It's a really complicated time of life. Lots going on in their bodies, in their minds, their hearts, their emotions. And so we got together and we went and visited a school that we thought was an exemplar. They were really getting it done when it came to learning outcomes. And we went up there and we're, what's your secret sauce? And you know what their secret sauce was? It was relationships. They spent a lot of time cultivating relationships, student to student and student to educator, so that the kids could feel secure in who they were and their outcomes followed. We came back, we brainstormed, and we started advisories in every single one of our middle schools, and we've grown that. We started staff circles so that staff would become more and more capable of building relationships with kids. And you can see the outcomes here with our middle school kiddos. 10 out of 12 areas, 10 out of 12 tested areas, improving in proficiency and achievement. That's tremendous. You can't do this, though, on your own. Uh-oh, we bumped too fast. Oh, no, we can't go backwards. We can't do this on our own, though. The other statistic that's on this slide that I'll share with you is that 90% of teachers are effective or highly effective. I'll tell you what goes into that number. It's multivariate. It's their observation scores, it's the growth scores of the kids, and it's achievement. 90% of our teachers are effective or highly effective. None of this happens without our teachers. If you are a teacher or a principal in this room right now, will you please stand up? This is your work. I like to think about Nelson Mandela's quote that says, education is the most powerful weapon or tool that we have to change the world. It's evidenced here. I want to talk a little bit about what happens with our kids in high school and beyond high school. A year and a half ago, we started what we call freshman success or freshman academies. We recognized that our kiddos weren't getting out of their 9th grade year or were struggling through their 9th grade year, and we needed to do something about it. So we started cohorting them and building supports around them. And what we see here is a 92% success or 92% promotion rate, our 9th graders for the first time. Our 9th graders promoting to the 10th grade, which is really outstanding. But also in here, we're thinking, what are the opportunities when our kids graduate, right? We want each and every kid to be able to reach their full potential and do whatever it is that they want to do. We've doubled down on apprenticeships, on trade schools. But we've also always have been cultivating the career or the college and career pathway with every single one of our kids. The statistic on this slide that I think is shocking, right, is that $54 million in additional scholarships last year, to the tune of $183 million in scholarship. If you are a college or career advisor in this room, will you stand up? Because this is big work. Anyway. Thank you for all you do. We need the resources to open those doors.
So what sets Opportunity 2030 apart for me is this idea of every student belongs. We've doubled down on the idea that well-being is essential for success. We know that when our kids are connected, when they feel that sense of belonging, that they're going to do better. They're going to come to school more often. And guess what? When you come to school more often, what happens to your grades? They go up, right? And so by connecting kids and making sure that they feel that sense of belonging, we know that all the other things will follow. This is a challenge right now. We've invested a lot in positions like counselors, social workers, student success coaches. We know that we have some students, particularly our Latino students right now, that need extra supports to make sure that they feel supported and that they feel welcomed in the school environment. We're going to continue to push on this because what we believe is that when students are well and they're cared for, they thrive. Another thing that we are very familiar with, and you can see it right here in front of you, kids come to school when they're passionate about something, when they truly love something, whether it's the Barger dancers that we saw at the beginning or these student athletes where we've won close to 30 state championships in the last year, which is possibly a record. We don't know, but we think possibly. I know we've got a lot of athletes and coaches over here. If you guys don't mind standing up, and ladies don't mind standing up, thank you for what you do and the way you represent Hamilton County Schools. one of the stats that I want to point to on here, and when the idea of school vouchers comes up, one of the things that I constantly hear is that parents are choosing that because of the experience that they're having, or they're satisfied with the voucher program. We've had vouchers in Hamilton County for 2 years. We're seeing similar statistics. This 90% of families that are satisfied with their school experience. I want to be clear about this. Most parents love their school. They love where their kid goes to school. What they oftentimes struggle with is the district, right? And we're aware of that, but we're committed to making sure that families feel supported and that we're supporting kids' well-being so that they can thrive. This next one is a big one. Every school equipped. So happy that Mayor Womp was here and Commissioner Graham, our school board. This past year, we passed a historic $250 million bond. It's the largest bond in the history of Hamilton County to make sure that we are updating our school facilities, that we're catching up with the work that we need to be doing. I also recognize that right now there are renewed conversations about school safety. Our neighbors in Georgia, at Appalachia High School, and in Nashville at Antioch High School just went through this. And these conversations are going to continue to come up. What I want you to hear from me is that we're consistently talking about school safety. It's a continuum from making sure that students are seen and that they're valued, all the way to the SSOs and SROs that you see here with us tonight. We've invested over $2 million that touched every single school in the last year, whether it's a hardened entrance, whether it's looking at new cameras, but we're going to continue to look at school safety. This is an important topic, and it's one that we're going to consistently go back to. When I came to Hamilton County in 2008, one of the biggest frustrations for me was our IT department. It was a struggle, and it wasn't their fault because we didn't invest in the IT department. We had a bare bones department that was struggling to keep up with really anything. What I can say today, because we've invested and put the right people and the right resources across in that department, is that that department is thriving. Ask them to bring this Chromebook charger with us to show you exactly what's happening. 10 years ago, if you had a Chromebook, it would have taken you weeks to get fixed. Now, kids can walk up to this, hit a few buttons, put their Chromebook in it, grab one that's working, and be on their way. Our IT department is serving kids well so that families and students have a great experience in Hamilton County. We've got several of them here right now. IT guys and ladies, if you don't mind standing, thank you. When we started this school year, I said to someone that I want every kid to have a great experience. And that's true. There's a little bit deeper meaning to it, though. For kids to have great experience, what we know is that teachers have to have great experience. We've invested in this really in two ways. Making sure that our wages are competitive. And I'm happy to say that last year, we got our starting wages $50,000, 2 years ahead of what the state planned. We've also invested heavily in working conditions, sending $38 million directly to schools and strategic staffing so that they can make decisions to fit their unique needs. This one is important in terms of looking at our retention rates. I keep hearing this, and I want to be very clear. I hear all the time that teachers are fleeing Hamilton County. It is simply not true. Right now, we're retaining 90% of our first and second year teachers. That is 6% higher than the national average. Overall, we're retaining 88% of our teachers. Again, this work happens because of the wages and the working conditions, but it also happens because our HR department is getting after it. They're recruiting, they're supporting, they're making sure that people, when they come into Hamilton County, have a good experience onboarding. I'm so happy with the work that they're doing to support our teachers to make sure that jobs are filled. 99% of our student-facing positions are filled this year. That's an incredible stat. HR department, if you're here, I see several of you. HR department, you got to stand. I saw Dr. Brown earlier. Where are you? All right.
And our final commitment is around every community served. I think about the fact that we all know the proverb, it takes a village, right, to raise a child. We are that village. And we have to do this work together to ensure the success of our kids. One of my very favorite quotes is by Marian Wright Edelman. She says that education involves improving the lives of others and leaving your communities better than you found them. That's what this is really all about. We are committed to helping our kids build relationships across lines of difference, whether it's relationships with people who have come from a different background or a different experience or a different language. It is together that we're going to make this community, our community, a better place for the future. When we look at these indicators here, I'm going to talk a little bit about the decrease in chronic absenteeism. 31 schools decreased in chronic absenteeism last year. That's almost half of our schools. Chronic absenteeism is one of the hardest indicators to change because it's so complex. There's not a single thing that contributes to chronic absenteeism. It's a whole bunch of things. And this is where we need our village. Only 20% of our kids' time is with us. We need our village to break down those barriers. And our village has shown up. 280 partners, the most we've ever had in Hamilton County, are helping us tackle this issue of chronic absenteeism. I want to highlight some of our partners tonight. We are a part of a children's cabinet here, Dr. Robertson and myself, the mayors, Mayor Kelly and Mayor Wamp are on that cabinet. We've got members from law enforcement, housing, food, health, all in the room trying to solve for some of these big problems. Right now, we've taken on an initiative to house more of our homeless families in Hamilton County to attack chronic absenteeism by first putting a roof over our kids' head. We have gotten together, and that is moving forward with the partnership of that cabinet. We've had a partnership with CARTA, and I was corrected today. I actually was in a meeting with them today, and I said 13,000 rides last year. He said, no, actually 15,000 free rides in Hamilton County last year, taking our kids all over the city so that they would have access. And just today in Children's Cabinet, we were talking about the need at CSAS, how we need transportation support, and he raised his hand and said, I might be able to help with that. So if you are a CSAS parent here, a child here, we've got CARTA on board with us. Yes, that's what yes. The last thing I want to mention here with our partners is the Future Fund. If you are not aware yet, this county launched a Future Fund about a month ago. And what it is the college and career savings account for every single kindergartner and 6th through 8th grader in the entire county. And it's $100 that goes into this account and can grow over time. Our kids from under-resourced neighborhoods, they can earn even more in that account. And in 5 years, we'll serve up to 40,000 of our kids. When we talk about the Future Fund, people say, well, it's just $100. That $100 is a seed of hope. It tells the kid, we believe in the future that you're headed to, and so much so we're putting dollars behind it. The research says that even that little seed can build big dividends in the end. So we're so thankful for that partnership. It's a work of Benwood and Chattanooga 2.0, McClellan, Blue Cross Blue Shield, Pinnacle, all of those partners coming together. And the thing about the Future Fund is that we as a district, all we do is cheer it on. All we do is champion it. We don't have a dollar invested. And so it's really the community planting these seeds of hope that we're looking for. If you are a community partner in here tonight, will you stand? And we want to thank you for being our village. Now, I can't get off that slide. I know it's gone already, but we also have a big stat on there. It's 93% graduation rate. We've got a shout out. That's the highest graduation rate Hamilton County has ever seen. So we're going to pivot. You heard Dr. Robertson as he launched tonight talk about our strategic plan. And we always talk about it the same way. We start with our beliefs, and then our values, and then our commitments. But what our commitments. There we go. What we usually say at the end of our commitments is that when we do this right, this is the portrait of the graduate that we will graduate. You saw our young people showing us these indicators. This is where we're going. These are the people, these are the skills that we're trying to cultivate in our kids. And we're going to take some time tonight digging into these and talking to some of our amazing kids. We're going to start with the video.
The Portrait for Graduates shaped our school in several ways, academically, culturally, and even socially. It's been the foundation for us as educators and for our students to know where we're trying to push them towards. Even socially, allowed our students to have opportunities to be able to us as educators not only work independently, for our students to know as well as to be able to push them towards, engage in activities to help them to think about where they're going to be going to the future. Not only work
I
independently,
think
but
it's
work in
important to
groups, as well
problem
as to be able
solve
to
because
engage in activities
when
to
you
help them
get
to think about where
older,
they're going to be going to the future.
in college, you won't know what to do for yourself since you had when you was younger, you had everybody do it for you. So that's why they have problem solving in school.
When I remember I used to take feedback, such a bad thing, but now it's just like, I see it as you need to improve and here's how you can improve. They're not trying to put you down, they're just trying to help you grow. I definitely feel like the teachers help create an environment that feels like you're able to just collaborate, communicate with everyone around you. I definitely feel like the
Yeah, I've gotten
teachers
better
help
at
create
asking
an
for help
environment that
because before I
feels
always used to want to do everything by myself. But as I grew older, I realized that you can't do everything by yourself. You need others to help you and push you to grow bigger. I've always wanted to be the best, and I realized that to actually like be the best, you need to look at stuff from other people's point of views. You might see something, you might hear something that you didn't realize yourself. You need to look at stuff from other people's point of views. You might see something, you might hear something that you didn't realize yourself. You know, it could help you a lot.
I think it's important for students to be well-rounded as they're graduating high school, mainly because there's so many different tracks that students can take after they graduate high school. Being well-rounded, being able to speak effectively and calmly, or being able to solve problems, or being able to admit that you're wrong, those are all very valuable skills that you need to have because they'll make you a better individual whenever you're trying to go into the workforce or whether you're trying to go to college and learn more. And just overall in life, I think those are important skills to have.
My experience here at East Hamilton has prepared me for my future because I've gotten a wonderful education here. I've learned how to be a good communicator. I've learned how to think critically, and I've made some really great friends and relationships with teachers. I'd say my favorite class I took was probably physics. I know that it was really hard, but I just really liked the group aspect of that class, getting to work with other people and understand where they come from. And it's a lot of fun.
I think when I was going through school, I had this impression that the thing that was going to get me, over the line and really stand out was how smart I was, how well I accomplished tasks, and basically my overall competence. But what really made people stand out in my career and where I had to really learn and grow was the ability to do those things which some folks call soft skills. These are the kinds of things that we want to see in the future leaders of our company. And they were all the kinds of things that you would see in a portrait of a graduate. And so those skills are incredibly important.
My hope for students is that they have opportunities in their future to do what they dream of doing and what makes them happy and fulfilled, and that they leave our schools with the knowledge and skills to meet that challenge. Students leaving our communities with the skills that are embedded in Portrait of a Graduate will make our community even stronger than it already is. They will be able to take on our issues, our problems, and jump right in to making Chattanooga, Hamilton County, an even better place to live.
These skills are skills that we work towards from K through 12. I think I saw Lindsay Hagan walk in earlier. Is Lindsay out here somewhere? Maybe not, I can't see. Red Bank Elementary had someone from leadership Hamilton County Schools today that shadowed Lindsay. And they pointed of the graduate. And so we're excited about this work because it brings coherence across the district. It provides a level of focus, and it gives students something to aim towards. What I also love about this is you can see only one of these is about academics. It's academically thriving. The others are about, what you may have called soft skills. Sometimes they're called essential skills. But it's all those other things that we know that employers want and need so that we can have a thriving economy in Hamilton County. I'm so excited for you to meet these kids. These kids, we've only met them a couple of times. Some of them we just met, but they are ridiculously amazing and really represent a good sample of the 45,000 kids that we have in Hamilton County. So we're going to start with academically thriving. What is it when we say academically thriving? We're trying to avoid this education jargon, right? So you can really understand what we're talking about. Essentially what we're saying is we want kids that can master content. We want kids that can take their learning from one subject and apply it to another. We want kids to be good readers, good writers, and good thinkers. So in elementary school, what does it look like? In an ELA class, we may give kid an excerpt where we ask them to read and then highlight something from that excerpt that supports an opinion they're going to present. At middle school, it may go a step further. And they may have to develop their own opinion and then go find a primary and a secondary source, knowing the difference between the two, and then support their opinion. In high school, of course, it goes even a step further. They're creating their own work. They're going after multiple sources. They have to know the difference between a good source and a bad source. Facebook is not a good source, right? And they also have to be able to determine if there is bias in a source or if a source is one that's too old or doesn't fit the context. And so academically thriving looks different from elementary to high school, but it's one that kids can see from kindergarten through 12th grade. Excited to welcome our first two students, Lillian from Lookout Valley and LaFellow, the man with the $1 million voice, from Red Bank Middle School.
It's always hard to be first, but Lillian is brave and ready, right? So Lillian. See, that's terrible. I just did that 3 times. You're great. Will you introduce yourself and tell us what school you go to and introduce who's on stage with you?
I'm Lillian. I go to Lookout Valley High School, and I'm in the 9th grade. And this is my mother, Nicoya.
Lillian, we're thinking about academically thriving. Will you talk to us about how some of what you're learning in your core classes, like your math classes, are connected to those CTE classes? I know you're in Battery Technology 1, part of the Novonics track. Talk to us about that.
In the Novonics lab, you learn about how different types of batteries work and how they store energy, and also their chemical reaction. So algebra helps us figure out the electric potential and energy in batteries by using equations. It also plays a big role in designing batteries, making sure they fit the devices they're meant for. It helps us nail down the best battery design and analyze how different factors affect performance.
My goodness, that's a lot to get done in your 9th grade year, Lillian. That's fantastic. Thank you.
LaFellow, just say hi in your name for them real quick.
Hello, my name is LaFellow.
If I had that voice, I would not be doing this job. LaFellow and I have met a couple times. He's a ambassador type at Red Bank, where they use him in a lot of different ways. But one of the things that he loves about Red Bank is their eLab and their approach to showing how that goes across content areas. Talk to us about your experience with eLab and what it means for you.
So with eLab, I did eLab in the 7th grade. It was a very fun experience. eLab has definitely taught me that you have to make anything work. Like if you do not have what you need or an original plan you had fails, you have to improvise and like just completely just change your plan if you need to, but you just always got to stay on the roll.
What's the coolest thing you've done in the eLab?
I made a mini catapult with my group.
Like a Komatsu caterpillar or like a bug caterpillar?
A catapult.
Oh, catapult. I thought you said caterpillar. I was like, good Lord. That's awesome. Well, fellow Lillian, thank you guys for being here, for taking the time. We're super proud of what you're doing.
Our next indicator is about being solutions oriented. We want our kids to be able to utilize their resources, to work together as a team, to think about short-term and long-term impacts, and to consider what's out in front of them, solve big problems. This looks different at every level, right? In elementary school, this might be asking kids just to define a problem and find a single solution. In middle school, we might go further and say, identify the problem, find multiple solutions, and determine which one might be best. Our high schoolers, though, we would go even further. When we see a problem, what causes it? What are those root causes? And then what are the challenges or barriers that might come up when we go towards solutions for that problem? Our kids are learning how to be solutions oriented at every grade level, and we're excited to hear their stories tonight. So I'm going to welcome to the stage Ayub and Owen. Come on.
Ayush met a couple of times, pretty incredible young man at East Hamilton, a 12th grader. Tell him what you said, that you just got accepted to
Georgia Tech.
He was like, just Georgia Tech. Pretty incredible. When you and I talked, you talked about wanting to be an investment banker and tie it into community. Talk to us about how you came up with that and like what you're looking to do with it.
Yeah, thank you. So throughout my time at East Hamilton, I've certainly been shaped a lot by the people around me. So one thing I've learned through the AP Capstone program, which is like this high school research-based diploma program, is I've been able to complete this economics research paper, and I've gotten that published in a reputed journal. So through that, I've kind of realized the importance of—
Let them clap for that, man.
Just realized the importance of kind of serving our community through the socioeconomic aspect. And for that reason, I want to challenge myself by going into the investment banking industry. And through that, whatever I accomplish, I seek to just kind of make the world a better place around me by just creating impact that way. And I think that it's important that we think innovatively and just drive solutions, both in terms of having kind of the academically thriving aspect of that career, as well as kind of the social impact beyond just making money.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I think we want to keep him in Chattanooga, right?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Think about it.
That's right. And Owen, first of all, you've got a future because you look unbelievable. Look at you in your suit. So Owen, start by just introducing yourself. Tell us who you are and what school you go to.
My name is Owen Mendez Diaz. I go to Eastside Elementary and I'm in the 5th grade.
So Owen, we're talking about being solutions oriented. Can you talk to us about a challenge that you've faced and how you solved it with a team?
So there's this time when in the soccer tournament in last semester, we were playing and we finished a game, but we decided to just wander around Highland Park, but our coach started saying, don't wander around, just come with me in the corner of the field. And we decided to go with him, and I think he made a good choice because we were paying attention of how the other team played and their strengths and weaknesses. So then we would have a better chance of winning, and we won. So I think he made the right decision to not keep us from wandering around.
You know what I love about Owen's story is when his principal was like, you got to talk to this kid. And we started talking about facing challenges. And this is the story that he brought forth. It transfers all over the place. And the idea of investigating something, watching, and then strategizing, and then winning. We don't always win, but you can certainly solve problems. Owen, thank you. You've got a bright future. We can't wait.
Owen, Ronaldo or Messi?
What?
Ronaldo or Messi?
Uh-oh.
I know you guys aren't going to agree with this, some or some not, but I choose Messi.
Oh my God. So effective communication, I'm going to take a small point of privilege. We've got several people that really help us work on this. Addison Lambert, who's back here, you can't see her. Rachel Emond over here, and Shannon Moody. This goes through multiple iterations. And one of the things about effective communication is you have to understand your audience. Well, about 3 weeks ago, this said that JR, who is me, should tell a joke. So they took that piece out because they said last year I told a joke about facilities and didn't laugh, and I didn't connect with the audience. So they took the joke out, so there are no jokes tonight. It's really disappointing. So we think about being an effective communicator. We want kids that are active listeners. We want kids that know how to express what their needs are, can work across things that they disagree about, can state their opinions and listen to other opinions respectfully. And again, this looks so different across elementary to high school. When you think about elementary kids, one of the big things, you just need elementary kids to tell you what they're feeling, right? What they need. If we can get elementary kids to do that, especially early on in that kindergarten phase, we're working in the right direction. In the middle school age, we want kids that can communicate to each other and work on problems together, hear different opinions, and come to a final solution. And then finally, for high schoolers, I think like IUs could have been this indicator. We want kids that can communicate in front of audiences, that can state what their needs are and eventually advocate for themselves, what their needs are, what their desires are as they move forward. This looks different ways for teachers, of course, seminars, giving kids group projects, making sure they have opportunities to develop their own voice. But effective communication is something that is needed in every single profession in this community. We're really excited again to introduce 3 students. We've got Hannah, Naomi, and Gavin. If you guys would come to the stage.
All right, Hannah, we're here talking about effective communication. Can you start by just telling us who you are and what school you're in and who you're with on stage?
My name is Hannah, and I go to Normal Park, and I'm in 3rd grade, and this is my mom, Allison.
Mom got a hug on stage. When they get older, they don't always do that. So take it all in. Take it all in. So Hannah, your principal recommended you because she said that you do such a good job of connecting with other kids and talking to people you don't know. Can you tell us more about that?
Well, I just really like meeting new people because I feel like it's a whole new experience. So I get more experience with what to expect.
Mm-hmm. Now, I know when we got to chat earlier this week, you were talking to me about someone who was new to your school and she didn't know the language, and you did something really outstanding to bring her into your group. Can you tell us that story?
Yes. Well, one of my friends, Lisa, she this year moved from Russia, and so at school during recess, when we were playing, we would go up to a teacher and ask that teacher to use Google Translate to tell her what we were playing at recess.
And to invite her in, right?
Yes.
Google Translate to invite her in. I love it, Hannah. Hannah, you are someone we need in our community. So you're going to be a great neighbor and you're a great student. Thank you.
Naomi is an 8th grader at Hickson Middle School. We were trying to put it together when I saw her earlier. I was like, I know I've seen you. And it was at Hickson Middle, and she was giving tours, right? Tell us about what's going on at Hickson Middle.
So at Hickson Middle, we have a lot of visitors. And with some of those visitors, I just get to tour them around the school.
Is it hard to talk to new people?
Sometimes, yes, but it's good to meet new people. So.
What do you do to prep for it? Do you just pump yourself up, or do you have like a script, or what do you?
I just be myself. So
Good, good. Thank you for giving school tours. One thing that we're pressing in schools is creating welcoming environments and doing it through kids. And this is a great example of building communication skills and also creating welcoming environments.
Last, we're going to chat with Gavin. Gavin is an 11th grader here at University High, right out of the East Ridge feeder pattern. Gavin, talk to us about how you disagree respectfully, how in high school you guys have conversations and disagree and are able to do that in a good way.
Yes, so in class, I've learned through my American history class, there was a time that me and a classmate had a disagreement, or not really a disagreement, but a difference of opinion. And at first I wanted to share my opinion and blurt out, but I sat back and listened to what they had to say and learned everything they were going to say. And then I added my opinion, and it taught me that there's sometimes you need to sit back and listen so you can realize and create better discussion within the classroom.
I love it. Sometimes we got to sit back and listen so we can create a better discussion. We would be a better world if we could sit back and listen just a little bit more.
Yes,
right?
ma'am.
Gavin, thank you for what you're doing. And
Of course.
thank all three of you.
Thank you, guys. Again, creating effective communicators is something that every business, every job, every vocation needs. You've got to be able to communicate, and we're working through that K through 12 in Hamilton County Schools.
So culturally aware and community involved. I feel like I got to touch on this a little bit when I thought about every community served. In this indicator, we're really trying to help kids connect in community, become people who want to intentionally invest in others and in their future, and to be able to do it no matter where they are and no matter who they're around. So be able to connect across those lines of difference and seek to understand. When we think about this in school, it looks any number of ways at all of these grade levels. In elementary school, this could be just cultural heritage exposure, right? Helping kids to understand cultures that are different, or serving in their school and helping make their classroom a welcoming place and a place that they take ownership. In middle school, this could look like some sort of service project or really caring about the well-being of others, as we've already talked about. In high school, what we see is kids that could be innovative. They identify problems like our young man from East Hamilton did, identify these problems and then build towards solutions. It's incredible what our kids get to do, and they get to do it in any number of places, in any number of ways, through capstone projects and groups and group events or group learning together, collaborative learning. So we're going to welcome to the stage Michael and Asa.
Michael's an 8th grader at Eastlake. And Michael, you and I talked before this. You got nominated because people talked about your leadership on a basketball team, right? And that your leadership didn't just impact you, but you were concerned about your teammates, what they were doing, and how they could help the team in the school. Talk to us a little bit about that experience.
I support and encourage my teammates and hold us all to a high standard. And I just try to understand everybody's feelings and try to help them out in any way I can and just lead my team to success.
Do you think your friends were listening to you?
Yes.
I'll tell you a story. My parents are back there, and when I got in middle school, I did not get very good grades. You know what they told me? If you don't make A's and B's, you can't play soccer. You know what I did from there on out? I made A's and B's. Keep being a leader. Keep doing what you do on the court, but also off the court to make sure that you're bringing your friends along with you.
Now, Asa is here with us from Sail Creek, and she is a senior. Yes, I see it. I gotta say, when we were prepping for this and we heard about Asa, first of all, she's the 8th female Eagle Scout in Hamilton County. That's impressive. She's a member of the Junior ROTC, And she's already been accepted to the Merchant Marines and is going for the Naval Academy, right? Merchant Marine Academy, I stand corrected, yes. So tonight I was like, you don't have to wear your Eagle Scout thing, but if I were I was the 8th, I might be rocking it, and she's rocking it, so it's amazing. Asa has dedicated some time and effort to the Sail Creek community. Can you talk to us about the project that you did in Sail Creek and how you helped in that community?
Well, for my Eagle Scout project, I had the help of my fellow JROTC cadets, and I had the help of my fellow scouts. We built a ramp to help for therapeutic horseback riding, for accessibility to get onto the horses. So it's really beautiful.
Where did you come up with that idea?
I got in contact with a local Hearts and Hooves corral in Saudi Daisy, and we just started talking, and I was like, that's an amazing opportunity. I would love that.
I love it. Built a ramp to provide accessibility for kids that couldn't do it. You saw a problem and you became part of the solution. Asa, thank you for what you do.
Thank you.
Michael, Asa, keep up the great work. You both are doing amazing things at your schools, and we appreciate you being here. Thank you.
Good job.
Thank you.
So resilient learners, resilience, one of those words that I love because everybody has a different meaning for it, right? What does resilient mean? Some people are like, it's when you get knocked down and you get back up, right? That definitely could be part of it. What we know is that kids are going to hit obstacles, right? They're going to run up against hard things. I think as a parent, one of the hardest things to do is watch your kids struggle. But guess what happens in productive struggle? Growth occurs, right? I always go back to grit when I think about resilience. And as mentioned earlier, our board chairman, if you didn't know it, is a world-renowned, actually was a coach for boxing in the Olympics. And he says 2 words all the time that I'm like, that's resilience. He always says, keep punching. Just keep punching, right? And so we want our kids at elementary school to know that they can take on challenges and that they can run up against something that's hard and be able to get through it. In middle school, we want them to start thinking about long-term plans, right? We want them to start looking at maybe what they want to do in college or what they want to do after high school, understanding that those long-term plans are going to take perseverance and take resilience to get through it. In high school, goal setting is so important. And they've got to realize in high school that this is a marathon. This is not a sprint, right? And for our kids, that is so difficult. I want to encourage parents. I want to encourage our teachers. Even though it is super difficult, we've got to let kids struggle. We've got to let them churn in that productive struggle so that they can build resilience. And when they leave us, they can keep punching, right? So I want to welcome couple of students, Millie Tyner. Anybody that goes by Millie, 2 words or 2 names, has got to be impressive. Millie Tyner, and then Destiny, a 10th grader at Howard.
All right, Millie Tyner, we're so excited to have you here. I know you're a 4th grader at Wallace A. Smith, right? Can you introduce who's on the stage with you tonight?
I have my mom and Miss Cox.
That's right. And I know that Ms. Cox is a speech pathologist, right? Millie, talk to us about how you have handled challenges in school.
I take deep breaths. I talk to my mom and parents. I talk to my teacher. I talk to my RTI teacher. I hold a fidget when I'm nervous.
That's a lot of strategies. I heard you say, take a deep breath. I heard you say, ask your teacher for help. Ask your parents for help. Get a fidget if you needed to. Get some extra learning. And I heard that you became a fantastic reader last year as you saw all of this help and you conquered that big challenge. Is that right? That's right. Millie Tyner, thank you.
Destiny, you and I just met about an hour ago, right?
Yes.
Yes. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Good evening. My name is Destiny Overton.
I am the 10th grade representative for the Erlanger Health Institute at the Howard School. I also am a cheerleader at the Howard School also.
So the Erlanger Health Institute, obviously a partnership where people may want to go into nursing. They may want to be something. What are your plans? What are you thinking?
I plan on becoming a registered nurse after high school and college.
So do you think that's going to be like happen overnight? Like, what do you?
No, the Howard School has a program, the Erlanger Health Institute, and it helps me prepare for becoming a registered nurse. And it has many opportunities. One is becoming a medical assistant, or you can sterilize the tools for nurses.
So you got options, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Options that maybe even could happen during high school and then lead to nursing school after school, right? Awesome. Thank you for being here. Appreciate what you did. Hey, you did awesome. Don't look down like that. You did awesome. Millie Tyner, thank you. Super proud of you.
Thank you.
Yeah. It's hard to get up here, y'all. I was telling them before, I was like, I get really nervous about this. And guess what? If you mess up, nobody out there knows because you just keep going, right? So our kids did an amazing job.
We wanted to take this last little bit of time to say when our kids use these skills and develop these skills, what's available to them post-secondary? Who are they when we send them off into the world? So we're going to talk to 3 of our graduates today. I'm going to welcome to the stage Austin, Lucas, and Glinda.
All right.
Austin, he and I made a connection because once a Lion, always Lion, right? Red Bank High School graduate. You went through there. You were part of the Komatsu program, and now what are you doing?
I'm currently finishing up my Chat State apprenticeship with Komatsu, and then after that, I'll be a full-time Komatsu employee.
So what does that look like? When you say apprenticeship, like what are you doing?
Right now I'm working a full 8-hour shift at Komatsu in the mornings, and then 3 days a night I'm going to Chat State.
And does Komatsu have a path for you that you could see a career in this?
Oh yeah, of course. There's a big path, and I think I'm on the right track of it.
Yeah. In high school, you were involved too, right? You were doing work-based learning?
Yeah, I was in the pre-apprenticeship program through my senior year.
You feel like you've got options?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I got a lot of options and experience.
Good. Austin, we're super proud of you for what you're doing. Thank you for being here.
I love it. Austin said, oh yeah, I got a lot of options. Lucas, you are with us tonight from Transition to Work with Blue Cross Blue Shield, and you're going to finish in May.
Yes.
Can you talk to us about the opportunities you've had and what you're doing right now?
Well, I'm currently working in the kitchen at Blue Cross, and last year I worked at the Chattanooga Zoo.
Wow. In the kitchen and the Chattanooga Zoo, did you have one that you liked better than the other?
I think the kitchen, doing the cookie sheets, doing the bacon sheets, and doing filling up the ice.
I think up here we see you with the cookie sheets, right? Is that what we see in that picture?
Yeah.
That's exactly right. Lucas, it's been amazing to see you grow in these programs, and you're ready for that next step, right? Ready for what's ahead.
Yep. And Transition to Work really helped me. They helped me get a license. They helped me be more independent and get my driver's license, and help me to grow as a person.
That's exactly right.
Lucas, we need to make sure, I think some people miss that. What did you said you got your what license?
Driver's license.
Driver's license. Big time, dude. Glinda, recent graduate of East Ridge High School. You're a student here at UTC. What are you thinking your next steps are?
Well, currently I'm here. My major is exercise science, and I'm also working as a medical assistant at Erlanger. I'm hoping to get, patient care hours to hopefully go to PA school one day.
Yeah, That's awesome. So you're working as a medical assistant, what happened at East Ridge?
So it was, I think, like a 9 month. It was like the last year, my senior year of high school. My teacher had told me that we were going to start this certification like program at Eastridge, and we just studied. We had modules, and then towards the end of the year, that's when I got my certification, and then I was able to use it to be able to go to work at it.
So graduating high school with the certification.
Yes.
Pretty awesome. Long-term PA school's a little bit, right?
What was that?
PA school's going to take a little bit, right?
Yeah, for
You
sure.
think you've got the resilience to?
Yeah, I think hopefully.
Yeah, you definitely do. You definitely do. That was a trick question. Guys, we're really proud of all of you. What we wanted to show is that we are working in Hamilton County to provide options across the board. It's for each and every student, whether you're thinking about going to college, whether you're thinking about going straight into the workforce, whether you're not sure and you want both options open. And so, Lucas, Glenda, Austin, thank you guys for being here. Please stay in Hamilton County. Please stay in Hamilton County.
I don't know. I don't think I have an option. I'm losing my last year. I don't know if I can stay any longer.
Say it again. What?
He said he's in his last year of his program. He doesn't know if he can stay any longer.
Might have
got
to
his
twist your arm, Lucas. All right. Thank you, guys.
Great job. Before we move forward, I wanted to take a second. If you are one of the adults that has come with these young people, or a teacher or a principal that's here to serve them, will you all stand up? We're so thankful for all the ways that you've invested. You should be really proud. As we prepare to close, wanted to show you all, these are the Stewart and Robertson kids. We get, aw, right? Oh, yeah. So these are my kids, Trey and Micah and Jaden. In June, all three of them will have college degrees and be off the payroll, right? I said to my kids growing up, it didn't matter to me what they wanted to do after high school. And after college, it mattered that they had this knowledge and the skills to do whatever that was, right? I want that very same thing for every single kid in Hamilton County schools. We want to give them options. And when we think about this portrait of a graduate, my kids did a pretty good job academically thriving in school. But when I sent them to college, it wasn't their academics I was worried about at all. It was things about their resilience. And could they solve a problem? Could they communicate and ask for help? Those are the things that I knew they needed as they moved forward to get to the end of this path for them.
Got a little kindergartner there that I cannot believe is 17. Like it kind of freaks me out a little bit. What I want for every kid in Hamilton County is what we saw up here, is to have options. No matter what they want to do, we want to prepare them in a way that they can go into the workforce, so they can go to college. What we know is that experience has to be amazing K through 12. We're not always going to hit it, but what I want is for each and every kid to have the same experience that my daughter is having in Hamilton County schools, where they're prepared to make choices and thrive in this community. Thing I know about my daughter, she's probably going to say she doesn't want to come back to Chattanooga. We're going to twist her arm and keep her here. But we want to keep talent in Hamilton County. We have super talented kids, and you saw it tonight. And we want to make sure that we keep them here by providing opportunities for them and equipping them with these essential skills so they can go on and thrive and move this community forward. So I'm going to go ahead and run a little bit behind. I'm going to go ahead and ask Loftus Choir to come out while we close. Again, the team's going to be really upset with me. We're completely pivoting. The mayor said at the beginning, and I think he hit the nail on the head, and this is why I'm pivoting, is because he talked basically saying this community goes as our public schools go. I believe that is 100% accurate. If we invest in Hamilton County schools and our public schools are moving each and every kid forward, whether it's from Loftus Middle to Lookout Valley, all the way across over to Snow Hill Elementary, down to Clifton Hills Elementary, up to Nolan. If we can make sure that each and every kid has those opportunities and that we're investing in them properly, this community is going to thrive. We have to, as a community, get behind public education, not just here locally, but across this nation, to support the institution that is public education. I oftentimes get asked, what are your budget priorities? That's what everybody wants to talk about. Let me go ahead and tell you right now, budget is going to be tight. These people right down here know it. There are going to be some hard decisions. We're going to have to make some decisions that are going to hurt some outcomes, right? What we don't want to do moving forward is continually make decisions that are putting in jeopardy the outcomes that we see when we properly invest in kids and teachers across Hamilton County. My priorities are, we're going to continue to push on wages for our employees. We're going to continue to make sure that teachers are getting paid what they deserve and that we can continue to keep their benefits where they are. From there, you can clap on that. From there, we're going to continue to invest in K through 2 literacy. That is the foundation. If we get K through 2 literacy right, so many more things are going to go right for our school system. And finally, we're going to continue to push funds directly to schools into strategic staffing to make sure that schools can make decisions to support kids from different communities and do it well. I want to encourage you. There are many ways that you can get behind us. It's not all about money, even though it sounds like that's all I talk about. It's not all about money. How can you get involved? Number one, you can be a voice for public education in our community and in this nation. You can support the story that is Hamilton County Schools and ultimately are the kids that are standing right here. You can step up and be a mentor. If we had a one-to-one mentor to every kid in Hamilton County, it would be a game changer. Be a game changer, right? You can also get your business, your church, whatever, your local group to adopt a school and go and volunteer and work with those schools. There's so many ways that you can invest in this school system. What I want to leave you with is going all the way back to the beginning and our just cause. Although it is aspirational that all children will thrive and experience a future without limits, here in Hamilton County, that is what our kids deserve. And if we want a community that is going to thrive, we have to continue to push towards that just cause. Thank you very much for being here with us tonight. We appreciate you. The best part of the ending, the Loftus Choir.